Hey, Friday Night Live, take 2, cashew milk. Okay, so Sarah's here. She doesn't want to be on camera. No big deal. Hey, Sarah. Making her coffee creamer. Tonight we are making chocolate cashew coffee creamer. So creamy, so delicious for her.
Amazing.
So that she can be successful on her Whole30. So I showed you earlier tonight that I soaked my cashews. I had these soaking just for about an hour. You could soak them overnight. You could soak them as long as you have time to soak them. You don't even have to soak them at all. The cashews are so soft, especially if you get the raw ones, obviously not salted or anything. We're going to add our own salt. That just makes it easier for them to blend. I am using a Vitamix. You don't have to use a Vitamix. I have been making nut milk for a couple of years now, and I use my NutriBullet. And that works great. Any blender that you have is going to be fine. You're just going to maybe blend it a little bit longer than you would in the Vitamix. It takes about 1 minute in the Vitamix and about 1.5 minutes in the NutriBullet. So I've got a little more than a half a cup, maybe 3/4 of a cup of cashews that I had soaked. And then about 4 cups of filtered water going into the Vitamix. And then I'm doing, Sarah got this amazing organic cacao powder, so delightful. I've got 1/3 of a cup of cacao powder, so I'm going to put that in. And it needs a little bit of salt in order to bring out the sweetness. And we should have dates. Do you have dates? She's going to get the dates. No worries, we'll add them in. Okay, I've got a teaspoon of salt. And I'm using that good Himalayan sea salt that I always use. I've showed you guys this before from Raw Revelations. It is such a, has a complex flavor of salt in it. It's just so interesting to me. So I really love using this one. And it's $9 for the bag. I only use it on, a little bit sparingly, special occasions, especially things like this where I really need the flavor to come out. And then on Whole30, you cannot use vanilla extract because it has alcohol. Anytime there's an extract, it's being extracted using some type of alcohol derivative. And because it has alcohol in it, it's not Whole30 approved. But you can use vanilla beans or vanilla bean powder. So I get my vanilla bean powder from Raw Revelations. This is a little bit more expensive. It's about $14. But this has lasted me. My husband bought this for me to make a cake last year on my birthday. And if you guys remember, my birthday was about 3 weeks ago. So it's been over a year that this has been in my pantry. And I use about 1/4 teaspoon at a time. So it lasts a really long time. And I don't use it for everything, but especially when I'm doing that Whole30 approved type stuff, because I don't want to use my vanilla extract. I can't use it because of the alcohol derivative. Okay, so if you look at the tip of my teaspoon here, I've got just a tiny bit. Sarah ran back. Luckily, we're neighbors. She lives right next door, so she was able to bring those dates super fast. Last time we did it, we added 2 dates, and it was sweet and creamy, but we're going to add a couple more this time just to give her a little extra sweetness. Now, dates, these are the Medjool dates. You can do, any dates you find that you want. It's totally cool. They do have a pit in them, though, so make sure you're taking the pit out of it. I'm sure the Vitamix could blend it up, but I don't really want to have to make that happen. So we're going to do 3 this time. Last time we did 2. We're trying to make it a little extra sweet. Actually, we're going to do 4.
Last time we did 3.
You can add a couple more. Whatever you want to do is perfectly fine. And if you're thinking about it as a coffee creamer, you're not going to be using a whole lot of it. I mean, maybe if you're like Sarah, where you like coffee with your creamer, it'll be a little bit more creamer than you would if you were making a cup of coffee and then adding creamer. But because it's mostly going to be coffee and just a little bit of creamer, what happened last time we found out is that it got too diluted. So even though we thought we were adding a lot of sweetness to it, we added that good salt, which is going to bring out the sweet. We added the vanilla bean and the cacao, and the cashews naturally are going to make everything super creamy. It needed a little bit of extra to get that real sweet kick. So we're going to experiment here. We added an extra one just in case. And if you remember from the video earlier tonight, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, go back and watch it. I made lamb for dinner tonight. I don't even need to use a nut milk bag to strain this because there's nothing to strain at the end of it. I did it as an experiment to try to figure out what we were going to need last time. And it ended up being that there was no pulp left. I did all of this work to strain it all out of the bag, and by the time I strained it out, I tried to rinse out the bag and there was nothing in it. It was such a waste of my time, and it got all over my kitchen. So don't even worry about using a nut milk bag. If you have, if you want to make almond milk, you definitely need to have the nut milk bag for that to strain it, or some cheesecloth, which I've found is a major pain in the butt, so I wouldn't do that if I were you. The nut milk bags I got on Amazon. I can post a link to that if you're interested. It was about $8, and I've used the same one every time I've done anything that has pulp. I do it with my almond milk. I've done it for everything. It washes really well. It never goes bad, and you know, a really small investment. Okay, so I'm going to turn my Vitamix on. I'm not going to be able to talk to you because it's going to be pretty loud. My husband informed me that my Vitamix has more horsepower than my car, so that's probably why it gets so loud. Ah! Hi, container. My big old arms I'll never get used to. Okay, I'm going to start the Vitamix on 0 like I always do because you don't want it to like explode. Turn it on and then just slowly crank it up. It's going to go for about 1.5 minutes until it's totally creamy, and you'll see the color change. And I'm just going to crank it up as we go. You'll hear that. Okay, so all I was waiting for was to hear no more of that cracking sound like they were being broken down. As soon as it sounds smooth, it's done. So I don't even know how long that took, what, 30 seconds? I don't even know. I was just thinking as this was blending and I couldn't talk to you guys, how amazing would this be heated up with little mini marshmallows on it for your kids as hot cocoa? You could totally feel good about it. No more Nesquik, you can't even pronounce the ingredients. Right? Awful, awful. Okay, so this is what we got. Look at this amazing, creamy, frothy. Can I have another container since I threw the other one on the ground? I don't know, it just wasn't working or something. All right, check this out. Perfectly smooth, creamy, amazing, like, oh my gosh.
It's really thick.
It's so thick, it's so creamy. This is easily going to replace your coffee creamers. I'm so excited for you guys. One more container, please. A little extra for this round. I mean, look at that. Have you even seen like a silkier, we just made this in the Vitamix. There was no pulp, no nothing, no extra, no extra work, no extra steps, you know, beautiful coffee creamer. Make as much of it as you want at one time. Put one container in the freezer if you're not going to go through it in about a week. It's going to last about a week in the fridge, but who's going to let this go to waste? I mean, come on, for real, you can put it in your coffee, put it in your smoothies, use it as a base for, I don't know, anything cereal. You want. Cereal, oh my God, Sarah just said cereal. Can you even imagine like chocolate milk and Rice Krispies or something? I mean, I don't eat that, but like, I would, I could, if I could. Anyways, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you get to make this coffee creamer. Message me, send a comment below if you do get to try it or if you have any other suggestions, and I really hope you enjoy it. Good luck on your Whole30, good luck on your journey of clean eating, and if nothing else, make yourself some cashew milk, because how easy was that and how cheap was that, and it's so good, and it smells so good, you guys, for real. I could drink this whole thing if I wasn't giving it to Sarah right now to take home, to put it in her coffee. Have a good night, you guys.